How's it going, guys? Welcome to Season 9 of my NHL 17 Florida Panthers Franchise Mode Series. And as you guys can see, we're actually now the GM of the Edmonton Oilers, as we actually got fired last season. We always had an amazing regular season record, but we could never get it done in the playoffs, so he decided to fire me right before we moved the team to Quebec City. But the Oilers honestly aren't that bad. I think they did finish like bottom 5 in the league last year, but over the last summer, we were able to turn around the team, bring in some free agents, make some trades, and I think the team got a lot better. So I'll show you guys the lineup we have going into this season. Like I said, I retooled the lineup a good amount, and I'm actually pretty happy with it. So first line here, I also switched a little bit since the last episode. I have Steven Connor here on the first line, 89 overall. He's a first line forward. So if he does play well there, I'll probably change his position from center to left wing, but obviously we'll have to wait and see how he does there. He's playing with McDavid and Scheifele, so he should do really well. Second line here, we have Lee Roberts, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and Yakupov. Third line, we have Draisaitl, Laminin, and Hodges. And then fourth line there, we have Tuominen, Carlson, and Morris. On defense here, defense could use a bit of an upgrade. We have Muzzin and Larson as the top pair, Oberger and Jones as the second pair, and then Nurse and Malone as the third pair. I'm not sure if that guy's name is actually probably Obergauer or something like that, but he might not even be real. Goalies here, we have Skinner as the starter with Johansson backing him up. So Skinner's only an 84. He does have medium starter potential, still has 2 more years to grow. Really hoping he can grow to like at least an 86, give us a shot at the Stanley Cup. HL team here isn't too bad. We do have 180 there, a bunch of 70s. Most of these guys are just signed as free agents. On defense here, defense is actually pretty solid. We have an 80 there, some high 70s. And then in goal for the AHL team, we have a 77 there, and Tursum Bayev, and then Ramjang Singh is the backup. So like I was saying, I'm actually pretty happy with this team. It's looking a lot better now than it did when we first picked it up. I'll also show you guys the owner goals we have for this season. Already accomplished one of them, which was simply just upgrading like the concessions, I think. Yeah, that was one of our goals. And then we also have to sell 85% of the suites, which if we play well, hopefully that happens. And the other is to have 24 sellouts this year on home ice, which again, if we're playing well, that should happen. You might have also noticed we're actually considered a contender this year. When I picked the team up, I think we were a rebuilder or hopeful. I think we were hopeful, so that kind of shows you the turnaround. AHL team here, 80 offense, 69 defense, and 80 goaltending. NHL team, 95 offense, 91 defense, 85 goaltending. The one kind of bad thing is both the fan happiness and the locker room chemistry in the 60s, so really everything relies on winning games. Hopefully both of those will bounce up. So we'll start simming here the first month and see how the team does. And one other thing, guys, before I start the sim, I remembered I didn't show the awards last season. After getting fired, I just kind of totally forgot about it. So LA Kings won the Cup. President's Trophy there went to the Blues. Clarence S. Campbell, of course, the Kings. And then the Prince of Wales actually went to the Islanders. Player awards here, Stamkos won the Art Ross and the Hart. Pietrangelo won the James Norris. Vesalainen won the Lady Byng. Barteko, Calder, Doughty with the Conn Smythe. Bishop with the Vezina. He's like an 83 now in free agency. He's not even worth signing. He also won the William N. Jennings. I could actually see Bishop going to Dallas this year as a UFA. Seeloff got to Bill Masterson. McDavid got to Selke 2 years in a row, actually, so hopefully we can get it again this year. Ted Lindsay there also went to Stamkos, and then Bruce Richard actually went to Sherback. Looking at the AHL awards here, I'm just kind of curious if our team won any. So we did win the, what we get there, best regular season record in the Eastern Conference. I'm also going to kind of see if the Edmonton AHL team won anything. Doesn't look like they did. Also, our AHL team won the division for the 3rd straight year, and we lost that team, which kind of sucks. Player awards here. We had one guy get the best defenseman, Gervais. So our AHL team honestly was stacked. Kind of pissed I lost out on that. I wouldn't even mind too much having the new NHL team if we could have like maybe transferred our AHL team, but that's fine. It's just another challenge. So like I said, I'm going to start simming this first month, and hopefully the team can play well. So I just finished simming through October. As you guys can see here, we have a record of 4-4-2, so not terrible. I would like a bit better of a record. Fan happiness and locker room chemistry have both gone way up, though. 80 fan happiness, 79 locker room chemistry. AHL teams aren't doing too good, though. 2-4-1. Not too concerned with that, though. The prospect pool really wasn't that great for some reason in Edmonton, even though it didn't look like they were doing that great for the last few years, but we had some more players. Hopefully that'll turn around. So we'll keep simming here and see how the team does moving forward. Right here, guys, Quebec City is putting Joe Vanosky on waivers, 81 overall. My old team. Obviously, I'm going to take him, even if we didn't need him. But we actually could use him, honestly. As you can see here, we've been losing a lot. We've won 2 of the last, how many games there? Like 2 of the last 8 games. So I'm honestly going to look at maybe making a trade right now, maybe switching up the lineup, doing something as we're not looking too good right now. So after looking at the lineup, I noticed that the assistant coach actually messed with it a bit, so I fixed it up to what it was at the beginning of the season when we were playing okay. Hopefully that's enough to get us back on the winning track. We'll see here. We might have just even had just a bad run of games for whatever reason. We do have a couple back-to-back wins there, which is good to see. So when these last 5 games finish summing up, we'll see what the record is at then. Alright guys, so the last 5 games did not go well. We had 1 point of a possible 10 there with an overtime loss, and then 4 regulation losses. Now 7-15-3. I didn't want to win the Stanley Cup this year. I didn't think I would, I should say. My plan was to win it next year, but right now it's not looking good. Offense obviously is fine. Defense is pretty good. Could use a bit of an upgrade. Goaltending is probably where we need the biggest upgrade. So maybe I'll go look and see if we can make a huge trade for a goaltender. Maybe try and trade for a defenseman. But right now we definitely need to do something. Alright guys, so we're here trying to make a huge trade for Eric Comrie, one of the very good young goaltenders in this game. He's now 29 years old, but he's still an 87 overall. Also taking back this player here just for the roster spot. Trading them Johansson. He was our backup goalie. 80 overall though, basically just moving him for the goalie spot plus the salary. And we'll still have Skinner, so we'll have 2 very good goaltenders now in Comrie and Skinner, an 87 and an 85. That'll be awesome. 2 third-round picks in this year's draft, not a huge deal. Our first-round pick, I didn't really want to trade away, but if it gets us Comrie, it's worth it. And then Darnell Nurse. Don't really want to trade away him, but he's 83. We have a couple 80s in the AHL. If they get called up to the NHL, hopefully they can become at least an 81, so they're 2 overall below him. If we get a really good goalie back, I think it's worth it. Also, Nurse has to kind of be there for the salary, as Comrie's making $9.3 million. I do have them retaining 25%, so hopefully that's not a deal breaker for them. We'll see if they say yes here. It would be a huge trade. Here we go. We have to call up Scrine, which means they accepted it, so there we go. We now have a starting goaltender. Hopefully we can now turn this team around. So after that trade, guys, here's a look at the team. We have Connor, McDavid, Scheifele still on the first line, Roberts, Nugent Hopkins, Yakupov on the second. I thought about maybe switching up Draisaitl, Yakupov, maybe Roberts and Scheifele, but we'll see how this does now with a better goalie. Laminen and Hodges there filling out the third line. Tuominen, Carlson, Morris on the fourth. I also made Carlson a center again. Defense here obviously is just the same, but we have Scrimes called up in place of Nurse. And then goalie, a huge addition there of Comrie with Skinner backing him up. So I think these two can honestly hold the fort, I guess, in terms of the goalie position. And hopefully that can turn this team around. The forwards are good. The defense should be good enough. We'll see how it goes now in the month of December. So I just got done simming through December. It was an okay month for us. We actually went 500. I think we had 7 wins, 7 losses. So we're still down 5 on the year. Hopefully we can get it turned around here. If we're fighting for a playoff spot at the trade deadline, I might try and add 1 more player to the team, but we are pretty close to the cap now, so it's going to be tough, but I'm going to do my best here to just try and get this team into the playoffs. So we're now at the All-Star game, guys, in January. Team's still not looking too good here, 18, 25, and 7. We did beat Quebec City, though, 3-1, which I like. Also, Adam Larson's injured right now, which might be a big reason why we're not playing too good. Our top defenseman is out. Another thing I noticed was that McDavid, for some reason, wasn't the captain. It was actually Lee Roberts, the guy we signed as UFA in the summer, so took the C off his chest. McDavid had an A, so I made him the captain, and then I gave an A to Nugent Hopkins. So maybe, moving around the captaincy there. Larson gets back in a week, I think. Hopefully that'll maybe change up this team. I still have hopes we can maybe squeak into the playoffs, but obviously it's going to be pretty tough. Obviously, though, we're just past the halfway point of the season there at 50 games, so I'm going to show you guys which of our players made the All-Star game, as well as where we stand in the standings and who our leading scorers are. So I'm guessing it's probably McDavid making the All-Star game for us, but you never know here, so just got to look through. There he is, Connor McDavid. I doubt we have 2 guys making it as we're not playing too good. Aaron Ekblad, of course, made it for Quebec City along with Barkov. Honestly, it hurts seeing just them doing good. The team I built, it's going to be rough here. So obviously, like I said, I knew this season wasn't going to be that great. I mean, we're turning around like a bottom 5 team, but if we could just squeak into the playoffs, that would be awesome. As you can see, we're actually last in our division right now with 43 points. We'll see where we are in the entire league. I don't see us being that bad in the entire league. We're actually 4th last, so it's going to be tough to get going here. But we have a better goalie now with Comrie. Once Larson gets healthy, maybe add a defenseman, if not, the trade deadline in the summer. I'm sure we can get something going. McDavid here leading the team in scoring, of course, with 41 points. Nugent Hopkins there, 33. Yakupov, 29. Hodges, 28. Scheifele, 23. He's got to be doing better than that on the first-line wing. Where is Connor? 18 points as a 90 overall, and he's playing either first-line wing or second-line center the entire year. That is not good enough. Wow, this team is just... That Connor, he is underperforming big time. We'll see how the goalies are doing. Hopefully they're holding their own. I haven't really noticed that much, big losses from us. So Comrie's got 2 goals against, .933 save percentage. That's actually really solid. Skinner there, 3 goals against, .9. That's not that great. So maybe we even move on from Skinner in the summer. Try and trade him for defenseman. Also take a look here at the AHL team, see how they're doing. So the goalies there, they both look okay. Not really too concerned with the AHL goaltending. Scores here, Haskins actually has almost a point per game. Van in there has 30. Holt's got 25. So AHL team here, obviously with only 2 seasons to go, I'm just really hoping like a couple of these guys can kind of break through in the next year and make the NHL team. That would be a huge bonus for us. If not, it's not the end of the world. So for this season, just going to keep trying to squeak into the playoffs. And then if not, just going to completely like rehaul the team, sort of, in the summer and try and make like one desperation run at the Stanley Cup. Also, guys, I didn't show you before, the AHL team actually is doing very well now. First place in their division there with 48 points, so that's a good sign. Maybe we actually will have a couple NHL players in the team next season. Alright, guys, we're not at the trade deadline. We have a record of 24, 29, and 9. I was definitely hoping for a better record than this. I think if we like really rally the last couple months, we maybe can make the playoffs, but looking like that's probably not going to happen. Fan happiness there is way down at 59. Locker room chemistry at 76 isn't too bad, but going to see if we can add a defenseman. That's probably the thing we need the most, I feel, especially after trading away Darnell Nurse. We could really use somebody to come in, and replace those minutes, I guess. So I'm going to see if we can do that. Other than that, though, really nothing we can do to change this team. We really just have to hope this team starts winning. So I'm going to try and add a defenseman here, and then just hope for the best after that. So I was just looking through the trading block, guys, and the Flyers actually have Ghost on the block. He's now 31 years old, but still a very good defenseman at 88 overall. 1 year left, so we'll have to re-sign him after this year, but obviously a lot easier if we already have his rights. So I'm going to see if we can try and trade for him. That'd be a huge upgrade to our defense. So right here, guys, the offer I came up for Ghost. Like I was saying earlier, he's still a very good defenseman, 31 years old, 88 overall. I'm positive we can re-sign him after this season. I'm also adding Steve Mason, so we have a decent backup, as we're going to be trading Skinner. He's a good goalie, but with Comrie now, really don't need him. And with Ghost contract coming back, we definitely need to send some salary their way. Also adding this unsigned prospect here with top 60 potential. Solid prospect, but he's not going to turn out in time for us. A couple second-round picks, one this year, one next year. Obviously, I don't want to trade any picks that are later than 2026. I feel like it'd be kind of cheating. And after this, I think we have 1 second left this year, and then all of our other picks are like 4th to 7th. So definitely have to try and find some late steals. And then I'm also adding Morrison here. Decent player. He's an AHL guy, though. And they want him, so I figured I'd add him there just for a bit of value. So they don't want their 2 things. They want all of our stuff. We stay under the salary cap. I actually had them keeping $750K on Ghost, which hopefully doesn't matter. He's got 1 year left. It really shouldn't. So let's see what they say here. We're going to go for it. We have to send down Hedberg. I'm not sure who Hedberg is. Let me check if he's a very good player or not. Let's see. I actually have no idea like what position he is or anything like that. Let's see. Hedberg. He probably goes through waivers, I'm guessing. Am I just missing this dude? Oh, there he is. 25-year-old, 80 overall defenseman. That's fine. We can send him down. 25. He's done by now. So there we go. Trade accepted. That's a huge addition. We'll check too if anybody picked up Hedberg. Hopefully nobody did. That'd be like another positive for us. If they did, it's fine. And nobody did. So there we go. That worked out well. Don't think I'm going to be making any more trades now. Just going to hope that team's good enough with the addition of Ghost and see if we can maybe make a miracle run into the playoffs. Right here, guys, look at the new lines after the trade deadline. So we got Connor, McDavid, and Scheifele on the first line. Roberts, Nugent Hopkins, Yakupov on the second. Draisaitl, Lamminen, Tuominen on the third. And Morris, Carlson, Stamkos on the fourth. Roberts is actually an 86 now. He dropped from 89. So if he stays there, I'm definitely trading him. Didn't pay him that much money to be an 86. First pair there, Ghost and Larson looks sick. We got Jones and Muzzin on the second pair. Obergauer and Malone on the third. And then, of course, in goal, we now have Comrie as a starter with Mason backing him up. So I'm honestly liking these lines. I think we also have an injured player right now. Yeah, and Hodges. So once he's healthy, he'll replace Stamkos. So that'll actually make the forward group pretty solid. And then AHL team here is honestly pretty good now. As you can see, we got 5 A's in the lineup. So they're looking pretty good. Even on defense there, we have a couple 80s. So that's a good sign. If any of them can maybe grow to like an 83 by next season, that would be a huge addition. But other than that, we'll see how the team does now. Hopefully the addition, at least helps us kind of make a run at the playoffs. Even if we don't quite get in, I'd love to just at least be competing. So we'll see what happens here in the last month and a half or so. As I was assuming, guys, the San Jose Sharks put this Graham Westcott guy on waivers. Actually looks pretty decent, 78 overall, 23 years old, low top 6D. So I figure free player, why not take him? So we're at the end of the season now, and I actually went on like a miracle run this past month and a half. I'm going to go back to where the trade deadline is. As you can see here in March, we had a shootout loss, and then after that we had like 7 straight wins. We get a couple back-to-back losses, then we win again. And then in April here, you can see we won 4 times straight, 1 loss, and an overtime loss, or a shootout loss, I should say. So we went something like, rough math here, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 3, 12 and 3. So we went 14 and 4, and 2 of the 4 losses were overtime losses. So we went 14, 2 and 2, I believe. Just some rough guessing there, looking at it in the last month and a half, which is an insane run. We're now 38, 33, and 11, which gives us 87 points, which means we're probably like right on the cusp of a playoff spot. I'm not sure if we made it in or not, so I'm going to go check it right now. If we did, that would be like, what a comeback. Look at that. We actually have a wildcard spot right now, 87 points, just barely beating out Anaheim, who also has 87 points, but maybe we had the tiebreaker. LA, they're at 86 points, we're 1 point ahead of. Really hope none of them have, games left. We have to check this. That would be crazy if we went from like a negative record at the trade deadline to making it in. I also chose to trade my second round pick this season opposed to Anaheim's, kind of like betting on myself and the fact it was that close. So yeah, we both have 87 points. We have regulation wins though of 37, Anaheim has 34, so that's how we're getting in. LA has 86, everyone has 82 games played. So that means we're getting in, assuming Central, yeah, everyone's done. What a comeback. I can't believe we actually made it to the playoffs this year. That's insane. So if we could somehow like even make like a, like Cinderella run, that'd be awesome. Just noticed Quebec City Nordiques first in the league with 109 points. That's my team, the team I built, win the President's Trophy as usual. They'll probably get knocked out first round though. And so we were the worst team that made the playoffs, but we still made it, so who cares? 2 other teams there tied with us at 87 points. So we got very, very lucky. Like I said, that run at the end was just incredible. As it was simming, I couldn't believe like how many wins we were getting. McDavid there finished with 78 points in 82 games, just under a point per game, now at 94 overall. Yakupov at 55, Nugent Hopkins at 53, Scheifele there 52. Ghost has 42, so obviously he's a big add. Hodges is healthy. He had 42 points. That's really good. He was actually on the Quebec team. Edmonton picked him off waivers the one time in our last season. Draisaitl 38, Tumanen 37. Connor's got 35 and injured, so that kind of sucks. Really expected more from him, 90 overall, not even a point every other game. Lamon there's got 30, it's not too bad. Muzzin 29. Morris 29 on the 4th line. Roberts there's 24. He's an 89 overall now, but still 24 points. Like, I don't know what's going on with him and Connor. I think I might have to trade them. They got big salaries. If we can find some like better players to bring in, but the rest of the team there looks to be doing pretty good. I'm guessing adding Comrie was obviously a big addition too. 2.18 goals against, .926 save percentage. That's very good. Mason 2.9 against, .9. So not quite as good, but he's a backup, so it's not a huge deal. I'm just very impressed with the team. We'll take a look at the AHL team as well. They have a few games left to go, but still. Starting goaltender there, 2.31 against, .917, so that's pretty good. Backup, not quite as good, but that's all right. I know the last time I really looked at the AHL team, they were first in their division. I'm actually not even sure where they're at anymore, but Vannon here, 50 points. Westcott, 47. Haskin, 47. So that's pretty good. The defenseman there, actually, I just realized, almost a point per game. That's very, very solid. I think, is he the guy I think we just picked up off waivers too? So he's had a really good season for himself. Let's see here. The rest of the team looks to be contributing pretty equally, which usually happens with the AHL team. I hardly ever get a awesome player in the AHL because if they're that good, they're usually playing in the NHL, but usually the team as a whole is contributing pretty equally. And as you can see, they actually do have the playoff spot clinched up already with 80 points there. I have no idea how this works. The division goes 80, 76, 74, 80. What? The AHL is so weird, but I think the X means that they have a playoff spot clinched. Or sorry, the star means wild card. I thought that was a playoff spot. So, but they have 80 points. I have no idea what's going on there, but they're first in their division, so that's good to see. Going to start now assuming with the NHL playoffs, and then once the AHL playoffs get started, we'd love to have them have success too. So I failed the one owner goal here of having 24 sellouts, which kind of sucks. Obviously, we weren't playing that good for the first 3 quarters of the season. Thought maybe the last quarter could have helped that out, but that's all right. Obviously, we did still get the upgrade goal, so hopefully we can get the third one. I think it was having 85% something. I forget. I don't really care. We're in the playoffs now. First round here going up against the St. Louis Blues. So would love to get a win here. Imagine we meet the Quebec City Nordiques in the Stanley Cup final. That would be pretty crazy. So first game, no scores in the first period. Second period, no scores still. Third period, Laterra scores there on Comrie and gets the game winner. So close game there. Obviously our defense is playing a lot better. If we lost that game 1-0, surprised Our offense couldn't get anything going, though. We have a very good offense. Offense was definitely never the problem. We had to upgrade the D, which we did, and as soon as we did, we had a ghost. We started winning games as well. Obviously, we added Comrie, so those two additions, I think, really just turned this team around. Second game here, we'll see if we can get a goal at least. There we go. Morris scores 1. Puljujarvi gets 1. Forgot we traded him to St. Louis. He's going to want some revenge on us. 1-1. Carlson gets 1. It's now 2-1 for us. Tarasenko ties it up 2-2. Going to OT. Nothing in the first OT. Oh my gosh. Kozlov scores. We can't catch a break here. So 2 losses there in the first 2 games. Both by 1 goal. Heading back to Edmonton now. Hopefully we can tie this series up. That would be great. We'll see what happens here though. In game 3. 2 close games. I'm thinking the home ice advantage should be able to, give us a bit of a help out here, make up for 1 goal. First period, Kozlov and Yakupov each score, so it's 1-1. Wow, they just go off in the second. Schwartz gets 2, Tarasenko gets 1. So need a crazy third period comeback, and Yakupov scores 1, but that's not enough. So down 3 games to none now. I mean, we had a miracle run to get into the playoffs. Maybe we can have another miracle run here, come back from 3 games down in the first round, and then eventually win the Stanley Cup. That would be pretty amazing. So I don't want to at least get swept here. Like, that's probably the main thing. Let's just win this 1 game. Here we go. First period. There we go. Draisaitl gets 2. Roberts gets 1. Draisaitl comes through, as I knew he would. So it's 3-0. Puljujarvi and Fabry make it close, so it's 3-2. Are you kidding me? And they come back and beat us 4-3. 3-0 lead. St. Louis just wants that sweep. That's alright, though. Like I was saying the whole time, this season was really more of like a rebuilding, retooling the team to try and make that cup run next year. I was hoping to make the playoffs. It didn't look like we were going to, so the fact we made the playoffs at least is a positive. Like I was saying, I think honestly, if we can even add some more additions this summer, this team can have a shot at the Stanley Cup next year. AHL team, though, they're in the first round here, going up against the Grand Rapids Griffins, so we'll see what happens to them. Hopefully they don't get a first round exit, as they were like the best team, or one of the best teams in AHL this year. Edit scouting assignment. For this, I don't usually show this, but basically I just kind of go like country to country, spending usually like 3 weeks to 6 weeks looking at a position of need. So pretty much this whole year I've just been looking for defense. I feel like our forwards are good enough, especially we have a bunch of good forwards in the AHL. We have our starting goaltender in Comrie, so just basically looking for some defensive like diamonds in the rough. Also, I just realized we got swept in the AHL first round there. And that one even hurts more, as our AHL team, like I was saying, was, I think, one of the best AHL teams this year, if not the best. I'm actually going to check that right now, because that's just ridiculous. Like, it looks like our playoff losing ways have followed us from Florida to Edmonton. So they got first in their division. They didn't get first in the AHL, but they did get first in their division. So doesn't seem like no matter what I can do here, just cannot pull off a playoff win. We're going to have 1 season left to try, though. So just going to continue simming here to the draft. We'll see who the Stanley Cup winner was. Hopefully we can get some solid picks in the draft. Most likely none of them will make the team, but if you can use them for trades, things like that. Rebuild a bit this summer. I shouldn't say rebuild. Retool a bit this summer. And try and make that one last push for the Stanley Cup next year. Right here, guys, we'll look at the draft lottery results. They're pretty crazy, kind of changing on the guard here. Washington and Pittsburgh are now like the 2 worst teams in the league. Anaheim, they're 3rd. Detroit, I think, still isn't making the playoffs. They're at number 10, so that kind of sucks. But what are you going to do? Oh, no, we failed to sell 85% of suites this year. So we only got 1 of the 3 owner goals. Luckily, I don't think we're going to get fired after the first year. Hopefully, I don't eat my words there. So we only have 1 season left. Don't have to worry about it. None of our players retired here. We'll take a look at the entire league. Pretty much every year, as you get kind of later and later into the franchise mode, bigger players retire. Like this year, look at this retiree class, if that's what you can call it. Sidney Crosby, geez, 1,500 points. I wonder what that ranks him like all time. Jonathan Toews as well, 1,200 points. Retired as a Quebec City Nordique. That's kind of nuts. Jamie Benn there, 1,056. Voracek, 5 points away from 1,000. I feel like the guy would have, held out for that 1,000-point mark. Okposo there, Brassard, Eberle. Glad we moved on from him then. Got something before he retired. Stahl, PK Subban, Simmons, Turris, Pietrangelo. He was still good. Same with Shattenkirk. Wow, St. Louis just lost like their top defensive pair. Cam Atkinson's 36 now. Frolik, Zuccarello, Ennis, McGinn, Eller, Nash. Is that Rick Nash or Riley Nash? Michael Stone, DeKaiser even. Darren Helm. So just so many big names retiring. That's kind of crazy. Like just Crosby, Toews, Kane, Ben, Subban. That's nuts. Goalies here, Carey Price also retired with Ben Bishop. So like 3 of the best players in the world like the last few years, and like Crosby, Ben, Price, all gone. That's just nuts. So basically it's a new NHL, and we have one last year to try and win it. So look at the awards now for this season. The Stanley Cup champions there are the New York Rangers. President's Trophy, of course, went to the Quebec City Nordiques. Clarence S. Campbell, St. Louis. And the Prince of Wales went to New York. Player awards here. Art Ross went to Stamkos again. Fitzpatrick there actually got the Hart. Carlson went to James Norris. Lady Byng went to Adeline. Calder there went to Henriitis, or I don't know, Henricius. Conn Smythe, Mironov. Fitzpatrick there also got the Vezina. I think he was like an 85 overall goalie. I'm kind of surprised he's getting these awards. He also got the William N. Jennings. Forbett there got the Bill Masterson. Larkin there with the Selke. As soon as we take over for Edmonton, McDavid doesn't get it. Ted Lindsay there also went to Fitzpatrick. And then Stamkos there with the Maurice Richard. So unfortunately, we didn't get any awards. We'll see what the AHL team did. Calder Cup there went to Ontario Reign. We did win our division, so actually we did get that John D. Chick trophy. We'll see if any of our... Also the AHL team there for Florida won the Eastern Conference playoffs, so good for them. Good for the team I built. We'll see if we got any player awards for the AHL. Manitoba Moose pretty much just swept everything. Jeez, they got every award but 2. So good job to the Manitoba Moose. Or sorry, every award but 3. That's pretty nuts. So moving on now to the draft. We don't have any first round picks, but hopefully, like I said, we can find some late steals with defensemen. Maybe find a guy that's like 78 overall, top 60 potential in the 4th. Turns it into like an 82 by the start of the year. That would be amazing. We'll see what happens. So our first pick in this draft is Anaheim's pick number 13 here in round 2. So Anaheim actually won the lottery, I guess, to get to the 3rd pick. So that's pretty impressive going, that big of a jump, 10 spots. We'll see what's available here. Going to sort by potential. So there's a few top 6D. We'll see what it has for exact here. A few more top 6D. Let's see. I think I could get... Well, let's see. I don't have a 3rd round pick. So do I want to go exact top 6D or do I want to go high top 6D? This guy's only considered a 2nd round pick, so he's probably going to be the next to go. Curtis here, he's Canadian. I need defenseman. I'm going to go with him. Maybe he's a top 4D even. Top 4D, that is huge. What a pick in the 2nd round. Also, guys, I figured I'd show you like the top 5 picks or so in this year's draft. This guy here named Taze, kind of funny, as Taze retires. Medium elite potential. Same with the 2nd pick, 3rd pick. 4th pick there, top 6, that sucks. 5th pick, also medium elite. And one thing I noticed looking earlier in the round 2 is the 3rd pick in round 2, along with the 4th and 5th, are all medium elite goalies. So somehow, 3 like elite potential goalies, all available there early 2nd round. Wish we had an early 2nd round pick. It looks like that's when you get the good goalies. So I'll keep that in mind for the next franchise mode I do. So we're now picking number 15 here in the 4th round. We're going to see if there's any of those top 6Ds left. Obviously, would love to get lucky again. Maybe one of them's a top 4. So none of them here in regards to like the high potential. For exact, there's not even one available. There is a top 9 forward, and then it's just 7th D. So I think I can take this top 9 forward in the next round. We need a defenseman, I think, more than anything. So let's go projected here, and we're just going to take a shot at one of these defensemen. Waugh here, high, AHL top 4D. Hopefully they're wrong on him. He's actually better than that. That's really all we have to hope for. Here we go. And AHL top 2D. That's a rough pick. So I've got another pick here in the 4th round. As you can see there, 2 top 9 forwards just went. I'm going to see if the exact top 9 forward guy is still available. If not, I definitely messed up. He still is there. Boynton, please actually be a top 9 forward. Low top 9 forward. I'll take it. So far, I mean, we've had one bust of a pick. The others, though, have been pretty solid. I really don't want to take a 7th D. He could turn into like a low top 6. This guy's exact 7th. Not supposed to go to the 7th round, though, so I think I can wait on him. Let's see here. Maybe take a chance on this guy. They're not quite sure. He's got medium 7th D. They think 5th/6th round. Hopefully he's good. Kang, low top 6. That's not too bad for the 5th round. Making our 6th round pick, I think I'm going to go with another just kind of chance pick here and hope we find somebody good. So in regards to rejection here, this Bakos guy's got high 7th D. This guy's got medium AHL top 6. So, I mean, this guy should be better. No league interest, though. I don't know. Let's see. Let's just go with the German here. Maybe no one really knows about him. Please be good. Low top 6. Not too bad. We actually now have the first pick in the 7th round. So that means, who was it? Washington, I think. That must be the pick we have. This is the guy I wanted to take, I think. Cole, exact 7th D. Projected to go in the 7th round. If we can get a 7th D in the 7th round, I think that's fine. Low 7th D, I'll take it. And our final pick in this draft, as well as our final pick in the franchise mode, as there's no draft in the final season. Let's see who we can get here. I think we're just going to go for it all, hopefully find somebody good. This guy's the only one left with a 7th round projection. League interest here. Is there anyone with high league interest? There's nobody. What should we go for here? 5 guys, completely unknown. None of them are defensemen. We need a defenseman more than anything else. So let's go D here. AHL top 2D. So there's a chance like maybe one of these guys is a low bottom 6. That'd be the best case scenario. AHL top 2D for this dude. He's got the highest potential. Maybe he's a low top 6. That'd be a great 7th round pick. Low 7th D. I'll take it. Alright guys, we're now at the re-sign phase. We have $23.6 million here in cap space. A good amount of players though need re-signed. So luckily our centers are all locked up there. All in pretty decent deals as well. Carlson here, 34 years old, 81 overall, UFA. I'm just going to let him go. We have a bunch of AHL players pushing through. Same goes for Vananen here, 26. He's done growing. We still have a lot of depth there though. We have like 4 really good centers. Probably one of these 3 81s will be the 4th line center. The other 2 will probably be AHL. Looking at the left wings here, Yakupov needs a new deal, 86 overall. What's he want? 5.4, that's pretty fair. I think he was actually getting more than that last season, maybe not. We'll see here if we can get him for, say, $5 million right on. Where does he go cheaper, though? He goes cheaper if we go even more years. 7 years, so he's 38, he goes to 4.3. That'd be a bit much, though. Let's try 5 years there, see if we can get him at 4.75 till he's 36. That's pretty reasonable, I think. You know, not getting too outrageous. Stamkos here, 24.79. I don't know about him. Holtz, 25.77. He's pretty much done. I'll let him go. Stamkos, I think I'll resign. Probably just going to be like an AHL player. He does want a 2-way deal, though, which is good. So we give him that contract. Mitchell here, 21.74. He has room to grow still. Don't know why these guys want so much money to be like an AHL player. Give him 8.75. This dude here is 20 years old, 63 overall. He's got so much growing to do. I think I'm just going to let him go. He doesn't seem that great. Looking at the right wings here, Scheifele's locked up. Hodges needs a new deal, 25 years old, 84 overall now. He wants $4.2 million, so he's getting a big payday increase. Let's see what he wants. What do you want at 3 years? He wants 4.2. Does it get any cheaper? So 3 years is actually the cheapest we can get him. Let's try 3 years, 3.8. Give him $400K less. I think he'll do that. Roberts here, look at how bad he is now. He was an 89, he went to an 86, back to an 89, he's now an 82. Super upset for some reason, I have no idea why. I need to trade this for anything. Hopefully it still has a lot of value, and hopefully because like he can bounce back to an 89 or something, but if he's not playing good on our team, we need to move on from him. I cannot afford $8.5 million there of dead salary. Morris here, 27 years old, 81 overall. I think 2 million is a better option. We can probably even find better players coming out of the AHL. 2 million here also needs a new contract though. 22.81, wants $1 million for 1 year. Let's see if he'll take like 950K. Every little bit counts. Gagliardi here, 25.78. He's a decent AHL player. 800K, that's pretty reasonable too. We'll give him like 775 there. 2 years on a 2-way deal. Defensemen here, both Larson and Ghost need new deals. So we just shed out, I think, like 9 million in cap space. So that means we have about 14 million left. So hopefully that's enough for those two. Before I get to them, though, I'm going to look at the rest of the guys. Muzzin, 36.83. He's just going to keep going down. I'm going to let him go. Natanen here, 22.81. Hopefully we can get him for cheap. There we go, 950K. Let's try even saving. Just every penny counts there. 925. Salak here, he was the guy we drafted last year, 5th overall, 80 overall now. He could have a huge jump this summer. That would be awesome for us. Malone, 27.80. He's just taking time from like the younger players. Hedberg, 25.80. He can stay in the AHL, I think. Offer him 900K there on a 1-year deal. Westcott's 24.79 overall. Again, he's a pretty solid like AHL player, so we'll give him that offer. Scrimes, 25.79. I'll give him like a 1 year. Oh, he wants a 1-way deal. I'm not down for that, so just going to let him go. They pretty much never accept a 2-way if they want a 1-way. Ellis here, 22 years old, 78 overall. That's a very solid player to have in the AHL. We'll give him a contract. Same goes for Winnick there, 22.77. Getting them pretty cheap too there at 775K. Adams, 25.75 overall. He's pretty much done for. I'm sure we can find a better player than that. Who's the UFA there? 21 years old, 72 overall, medium 7th D. Gonna let him go. Want to give us a bunch of contract spots in case there's some better, younger players in free agency. This guy here, I'll give him a deal, I think. 775K for 1 year. See how he does. Are the unsigned guys, really no one worth signing, at least not now. Goalies here, Comrie's locked up, 88 overall. Now he actually went up by 1. Mason here is 79, definitely not keeping him. Bayev, 24, 78 overall. That's a decent AHL starter. If we can get him cheap, we can actually get him very cheap. So yeah, we'll just keep him there as the AHL starter. And like I was saying, we need to sign Larson and Ghost still. I think I have around 14 million for the two of them. I might be wrong. Larson wants 8 million. Oh man. Please get cheaper. Okay, he gets way cheaper. We could pay him till he's 40. He could be like the next Chris Chelios. Let's try this. I'm going to get a little ridiculous here, but let's try it. 8 years, pay him till he's 40, and we'll give him... If he takes like 6 million on 8 years, that would be a huge like savings for us. Ghost is 32, 87 overall. 6.2 for 4 years. That's actually really reasonable. 5 years till he's 37. It goes down a bit. Let's try 5 years at 5.5. That would be a huge steal. We'd actually be getting both of them at awesome contracts. So hopefully we can sign everyone there. I think we have enough money. And especially, too, if we trade that Roberts guy, we can go out and sign like a big-name free agent. And the team honestly looks like it could make a cup run next season. So as you guys can see there, Larson did accept our huge 8-year contract. Yakupov accepted. Westcott accepted. Hodges, Ellis, Ghost accepted. So I think everyone so far, Mitchell, Stamkos, Gagliardi, Vanier, Tumanin, Sumbayev, Winnick there, all the AHL guys. So I think that means everyone accepted, which is awesome. I'm going to take a look at the contracts now just to see how much cap space we have left. We actually have 5 million left in cap space. We'll see if I missed anybody. All unsigned players here. 71's not quite high enough. You got to be like at least, oh shit, 20 years old, 79 overall. Was this our second round pick this year? It was, I think. Curtis. Yeah, I think, did we draft him? 2025. That's the guy we drafted in the second round. 79 overall off the bat. I'm giving this dude a contract. He might, like, worst case scenario, he's like an AHL starting defenseman. He could probably even get called up for injuries. Over the summer, he could grow. That'll work really well for us. I can't believe I missed him. So, the rest of the guys, though, 71's topped out for the unsigned guys. Not worth signing. Just going to check the goalies there. So, yeah. We have 5 million cap space. If we trade that Roberts guy, we'll have an extra 8.5 million. So that gives us like 13.5 million to sign for guys. I think our team's going to look really good after we make that trade, and then hopefully we can spend it right. Have a really good team this year. Right here, guys, I'm making a huge trade with San Jose, trying to trade away Roberts. Like I was saying, 82 overall now. Even if he bounces back to 86, 8.5 million is still way too much. Meyer, on the other hand, is on an insane deal there at 3.7 million, and he's actually 87 overall. So he'd be pretty much the same player, if not a better player, for 5 million less. Also adding a few prospects here. 2 of HLD potential, so I don't really care about them, but they're interested in both, along with Gruel here, who's got top 6D, but being 71 overall, he's not going to get good enough to make our team this year. I'm also adding a second-round pick in next year's draft. So a huge package there. They're getting back a solid winger, obviously. They have the cap space, a few prospects, a second-round pick. It's like double the value on our side. Hopefully they'll say yes. Here we go. Trade accepted. That's awesome. So now, guys, we're going to take a look at this year's free agents. Obviously, after trading away Roberts, we now have a little bit more money to spend. We have 9.8 there in cap space. Kuznetsov's available. Probably don't need him. Klingberg, though, I would really like. 32 years old now, but he's still an 89 overall defenseman. And 7.7 million for 89 overall defenseman is pretty fair. Especially when you look at like Juleson here, he's 85, he wants 6.3, so an extra 1.4 for 4 overall points is definitely worth it. The rest of these guys are really old, like Little I don't want. Di Giuseppe, 86 overall, wants 8.1. We got Yakupov for like 4.7, it's almost half, so that's kind of, it shows you, like, getting the good players for cheap is how you win this game, or at least how you're supposed to. We get so unlucky in the sim. Pacioretty there, 36, he's going to start regressing. Duchesne's 34, wants 11.8 million, not worth it at all. So honestly, the only guy I'm really interested in here is probably Klingberg. We made the playoffs last year. He wants 5 years there at 7.7. So let's give him an offer he can't refuse, as Godfather would say. So 32. This pays him till he's 36. That pays him till he's 30. This pays him till he's 37, 38, 39. It doesn't change, or it gets 150k cheaper there at 39. So let's just do that, I guess. Kind of like Larson. Hopefully, he's another sweet. Doesn't get too bad. Asking price 7.3 million. What if we give him like 7.5? Let's see. He wants 5 years, 7.7. Let's go. We're just gonna go all out for the cup this year. We pay him until he's 39, 7-year deal, the max deal, and we'll give him 7.75 million. That is a huge deal, but it should help us win the cup this year. We made the playoffs last year, so hopefully it doesn't say anything like, your team's not going in the right direction. Another thing we do need as well is a goaltender, a backup goaltender. Really don't want to spend more than like 1.2 million on this. Can't afford to spend more than about that anyway. Just noticed this goalie's available. Wow, wish I could have just waited for this guy. Ronaldo, 26 years old, 89 overall. He wants 11.3 million though. Comrie's only 1 overall below him, I think, and he's making like 3 million less, so it's actually not too big of a deal. Murray's there, Holtby's there, now an 84 overall. Sodstrom, he was actually our backup when we were on Quebec. He's actually the only 81 there. He wants 1.9 though, which is a lot for a backup. Let's see. I'm going to give him an offer here of like 1.5. He probably won't take it, but he doesn't have any other offers, so maybe he will. If not, we'll just get one of these 80 overall guys. There's like 7 available. We can get one of them for cheap, I'm sure. Those other 2 guys there obviously are old. Ronaldo, like I said, kind of sucks to finally get a goalie available in free agency. We have one in Comrie though, so I'm fine with that. I'm really hoping we can get Klingberg. Like, if we get Klingberg after that trade for Meyer, our team is going to be set. Especially if we have a few guys pushed through from the AHL, we should be stacked for next season. Also, guys, I want to take a look here at the two-way players, see if there's any good young players with some potential. So all these guys here like 24 plus. This guy though, 22 years old, 79 overall defenseman. Definitely worth offering a contract his way. Hopefully he'll join the team. He'd be good for the AHL. Same with these guys here, all 21 years old, mid-70 there, with decent potential. Wow, I don't know how we're actually going to sign all these guys. How many are there? So the rest of them get pretty old. 2178. Okay, he's like the best one I've seen so far. Throw him a contract for sure. I think we have, I'm actually not exactly sure. We have a good amount of spots open. I think like 7 or 8. Let's go find the other 21-year-olds. 2278. He's definitely worth making an offer on too. I'm looking basically for like 22 and under, and I'd say 75 plus. 2276. So maybe Gonchar there gets an offer. 2174, 2174. See, these guys, it's tough. I'm going to give Harvey here an offer. 850K. Another team's interested, so probably don't get him. We'll give this Gonchar guy an offer. So that's, I think, 4. 2171, that's pretty low. Especially when there's like better guys available. 2174. We'll do this here. Let's see. 2 at 73, 1 at 71. 1, 2. I don't even know if I have the roster spots. 3, 4, 5. We'll see who accepts this or not, and if like we still have a couple spots left, we'll see if we can sign this Christensen guy and this Devos guy afterwards. As you guys can see here, Bull accepted. He was one of the two-way guys. Same with Pear. That's pretty good. Sodstrom rejected. I kind of figured that if no one signed him in like the next month or so, he should go down in regards to his asking price. Piper accepted. He was really good. He was like 21.79. I could see him honestly pushing through the NHL maybe. Harvey accepted. So it looks like all the two-way guys accepted. Really hoping now Klingberg accepts. He did accept. There we go. So that is a huge, huge signing for us. I'm not exactly sure how much money we have left. We're going to take a look at the roster spots too, or I should say like the contracts. We still have a few contracts. I'm going to try and sign a couple more of the two-way guys, and then probably just wait until Sodstrom wants less money. Or if he's gone by that point, we'll just sign like an 80 overall, who hopefully gets to an 81. We actually only have 2 spots left, so one of them is for a goalie, which means we can only sign one of those two-way guys, but that's okay. Our team's honestly looking very good now. Right here, guys, we're trying to make a small trade with Buffalo, trading them a couple of our like worst prospects. 7th D potential, top 9. They're both like 22 with 70 overall. So I have other guys that I think could get better in a team, as well as I could pick up in free agency. Also getting a 4th and 5th back. Could probably just use them in a trade at the trade deadline. Hopefully they'll say yes to this, and they do. So I think that's a smart move. Gives us a bit more flexibility now moving forward. So like I was saying, guys, there's a couple more two-way dudes I wanted to sign in Devos here, as well as Christensen. Both centers, both 21 years old, 73 overall, and medium top 9. But we already have a lot of center depth, and I actually decided to sort the two-way contracts by overall instead. And I found there's this Bentley guy, 21 years old, 79 overall. So he's about 6 overall higher. And instead of medium top 9, he's got low top 9, but starting out like 6 overall higher, I feel like gives us a bit of an advantage, especially only with 1 year left. He actually maybe can make an impact on the NHL team. So I'm going to give this guy an offer. I think, he could be a good player for us. Same goes for this defenseman down here, Sanford, 22 years old, 77 overall. We already have a lot of center depth. I would love to add another defenseman to the AHL team. St. Louis is interested though, so let's give him like 900K or no 950K even, just to make sure we get him. So those two guys I think will give us a bit of a better edge, especially in regards to the AHL team. Since the other two guys I think would sit, and with only 1 year left, it probably doesn't matter as much. Another thing I noticed when kind of looking at the depth chart was we actually could use probably a bottom 6 winger. So I'm looking for a cheap one. Hinostroza here, 31 years old, 82 overall. He did good things for us in Florida. I wouldn't mind bringing him back. Be like a 4th line winger probably, maybe 3rd line if somebody gets injured. And he's also got top 9 forward potential, so he shouldn't start regressing, unlike, say, this Nazarov guy who's got AHL potential there. From here, I think his name is. He's got top 9 forward potential as well. He's 27 too, as opposed to Hinostroza, who's 32. So I'm actually looking at this. I could sign both these guys and then try and get like the best goalie I can on a 2-way deal. Let's just do that now, especially too when the summer ends. I can move around the contract and I'll probably gain about $1 million in cap space, and we could probably still get a backup goalie. So let's see if we can get Hinostroza here at 1.2 million, and let's see if we can get this From guy. I think that's who I want. Kovacs here is a sniper, doesn't have good defensive awareness or anything like that. I'm definitely looking for guys that have good defensive stats. He's got 3 stars here, the From guy. We already have center depth. McCarron's got 2.5 stars, but he's big. 4th line guy. He wants actually way too much though. I keep looking here. Greer is 26, 82 overall. Medium top 6 forward. He would actually be better. Oh, he wants 3 million though. That is not worth it. I feel like I recognize his name. I wonder if he was on our team or something recently. But yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna go with this From guy. 27 years old. He's got decent defensive stats. 1.2 million. McCarron wants too much. This guy here, he's got even worse defensive stats. So yeah, let's go with this guy. Just kind of round out our forward group. I noticed we could use a bit more depth on the wing. We'll give him a 2-year deal there at 1.1 million. So like I was saying, when the summer's over, we should be able to get about $1 million back, and at least hopefully there's 180 overall goalie left to make our backup. If not, I'm sure we can trade some picks. We've been able to accumulate some more during the summer. As you guys can see here, that Sanford dude accepted our offer. Solid AHL defenseman. We're going to keep simming here, see if anyone else accepts. Hinostroza rejected. Roster's full. Oh, man, I messed up. Bentley accepted. Matthias rejected. Matthias decided to go with Quebec City, so my old team got him. So that actually means we have to try and trade away at least one more roster spot here to get Hinostroza, even 2 if we want to get another depth winger. Right here, guys, I'm trying to trade a couple more of our worst AHL players / prospects for a couple of picks here in a 4th and a 5th. Gagliardi, I was going to keep, but 25.78. I'm sure we have other AHL players, and basically, you know, he's older. And then Veneer here is just really low rated. We have other better defensemen. He's probably going to be an AHL scratch. So we can get a couple picks for them, open up a couple roster spots. It's a solid trade. And Washington says yes. So we actually have a ton of like 4th and 5th round picks in this year's draft now. Like I was saying before, though, we obviously can't pick in this year's draft, but all those picks should come in handy in terms of the trade deadline, getting something to happen. So we're now going to try and sign Hinostroza, probably one other depth winger, and then obviously to a backup goalie. Probably going to wait still on the backup goalie in hopes that Sostrom's contract demands go down. If not, we'll get one of the other guys. So looking at the players again, guys, I actually want to bring back Malgin, who was also on our Florida team, I believe. 88 defensive awareness. He would actually probably be a better 4th line center than our AHL centers. And I think that some of our AHL centers could get called up and probably just play the wing. And I'm also still going to give Hinostroza a contract offer here. Just going to give him slightly less than he wants. Should still say yes, considering the fact neither of them have any other contract offers. So we'll have probably 400K left according to this math. But like I said, at the end of the summer, we can fix that and get a backup goalie, and we should be stacked for next year. And as you guys can see here, Hinostroza did accept our offer. Same with Malgin. So just going to sim now to the end of the summer. See whatever backup goalies are available, sign them, and get ready for next year. So right here, guys, I'm trying to make a trade for a backup goalie. I'm actually looking for a kind of decent one. Opilka here, I think his name is. 83 overall, a bit better than like an 80 or an 81. He does cost a bit more there at $2 million, but now that we're at the end of the summer, we have the cap space after moving around the roster a bit. Trading them 3 unsigned prospects, all 70 potential. Never going to use them, along with a 6th and a 7th. So they want all 3 of those players. 6th and a 7th there. The value is definitely on our side. I'm not sure if they'll do it or not, as they don't really want to trade him. But he's in the AHL for them right now. They have Rask and Subban as their 2 NHL goalies. So that'd be a huge addition to our team for the backup spot. We'll see what they say here. And trade's accepted. So we basically just got him for nothing. I'll show you guys the lines in a second here. Our team's honestly looking very, very good. Alright guys, so I'm now going to show you what our lineup looks like. And going into this season, I'm honestly very excited. One of the best rosters I've ever had. I think this team is going to play very well. So NHL team here, first line, we have Connor, who have now made a left wing permanently. We just do not need him at center. Rather have a stacked first line there with McDavid and Scheifele. Second line there we have Yakupov back on the right wing with Nugent Hopkins in the center, Draisaitl on the left wing. Third line there we have Hodges, Laminin, and Meyer. He's actually considered a third line checking forward, so I guess it just makes the lines more balanced. And then fourth line here we have Hinostroza. Heberlein, he actually came up through the AHL. I think he must have been like an 80 last year, maybe a 79. Now an 83 though, so he's got the fourth line center spot. And Tuominen there on the fourth line. So forward group's very solid. Defense here we have Ghost and Klingberg on the first pair, Larson and Obergauer on the second, and then Salak there. He's the rookie we drafted last season. 82 overall now, elite potential, playing in the NHL. He should just grow throughout the season. Playing with Jones there on the bottom pair. So I'm really excited for that. Goalies here, Comrie's the starter with Opilka backing him up. Not really sure how to say that guy's name, but NHL team looks very, very good. AHL team here is also stacked. Like, look at the forward group here. Over half the forwards are 80 plus. Maligan's actually starting the AHL as we just didn't need him at center with the one guy who kind of grew over the summer. Didn't see that until after I signed Maligan. So he's going to start in the AHL, but obviously if there's an injury or something, he'll probably be the first call up. We also have this Hayes guy who grew. He's an 82 overall as well, but Maligan's got better defensive awareness. He's a bit better player. He'll probably get the call up before Hayes. Still, though, we have two 82s in the AHL. Even Jovanovski there, 81. Originally, Jovanovski was going to be the fourth-line center. Then we had Hayes get to an 82. The other guy in the NHL get to an 83. Maligan's we signed, so definitely have the good center depth now if there's injuries. Stamkos here was actually fourth line in the NHL for us last season due to an injury. Now fourth line in the AHL, so just kind of shows you how much our players have grown. Defense here, look at this AHL defense. 5 of the 6 defensemen are all in the 80s, so that's pretty exciting. I think the AHL team should crush it. 78 goaltender as a starter isn't amazing, but it's decent. Ramjang Singh there, 75 backing him up. So I think both teams are very solid. I think they're both balanced, which is something I was kind of missing. Obviously, Comrie with a solid backup should really help us this year. Signing Klingberg, a couple of call-ups. NHL team here you can see 95 offense, 92 defense, 91 goaltending. AHL team 85 offense, 85 defense, 81 goaltending. So like I said, I expect a lot from both teams. The owner goals for this final season, we'll take a look here. Our say the team is a champion now, so we went from a contender to a champion. Basically expects us to win the Stanley Cup. Anything else is a failure, which I think is pretty fair considering our team. Primary goal there, 31 sellouts at home ice, so if we keep winning, that should happen. Secondary goals there, beat Calgary in our first meeting, and defend home ice, 30 home wins. So that's a big ask, but this is a good team, so we'll see if we can do that this season. Like I was saying, I'm excited. I think that's it, though, for this season. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a thumbs up. Let me know if you want to see any certain trades or anything this season. We actually do have about $2 million in cap space, good amount of picks, so maybe we can even add like a couple players at the deadline, and hopefully finally win our first Stanley Cup of NHL 17. So besides that, guys, thanks for watching the video. Have a nice day. Goodbye.